Hello and welcome to the first week of Kansas high school postseason football. And for the first time ever, these two teams are squaring off. The Tigers have never faced the Bison. Winner of tonight's game will have a chance to go on and face Olathe West next week at the CBAC. Big game tonight for both these teams. Tigers finished the regular season at 4-4 after picking up a big win against Blue Valley West to finish the regular season. They had led in the first quarter, in the early stages of the second quarter, and then their final lead of the game came with just 39 seconds left to pick up their fourth victory of the season and finish 500. The Bison come into this game 2-6, the 10 seed in the playoffs, and a good return to open up the game here for the Bison as they'll begin just short of the 30 at the 27-yard line.
And this Bison team has been struggling all regular season, just a 2-6 record. So they're going to be looking to upset the Tigers tonight away from home for a chance to play Olathe West at the CBAC next week.
Bison are led by starting quarterback Jacob Needham. Just about the only thing we know about him is that he is a senior at Shawnee Mission North. We'll see how good this offense is as they begin the game at the 27-yard line.
It's
Tigers
like
with a big
power formation here.
Yeah, Needham under center, man in motion to begin, and they'll hand this one off. And he swarmed right at that line of scrimmage. Pick up there of only a yard for Liam Daly.
Big play off the edge there for Alec Womble, number 5.
So the Tigers have seen an offense like this before. The Bison's offense has been compared to that of St. Thomas Aquinas. The Tigers didn't play Aquinas very well when they met this year, but it's two run-heavy offenses. The Bison don't pass often. Still haven't seen a wide receiver there now. There's a wide receiver on the far side, just one. It's Nathan Doolin is the lone wide receiver on the near side of your screen. Tigers showing blitz. This one's going to be a handoff again, and again swarmed at the line of scrimmage. Maybe a pickup of 2 there.
Go on, Blake, the ball carrier.
Blake, the ball carrier there.
Brandon Newell.
10:50 left to go in this first quarter. It's 3rd down and 6 now for the Bison. Out across the 30. They'll be at the 32. Big 3rd down for the Tigers opening this game. They can get a big 3 and out. This crowd already rocking, hoping the Tigers can get off the field. Just one wide receiver again on 3rd and 6. They handed it off there. A flag was down. It looks like it's going to go on the offense. So on 3rd down and 6, the Bison were still ready to run it. We'll see what they do now. They're going to be backed up 5 more yards. So that's going to turn into now a 3rd and 11. We'll see if they still go with the run here on 3rd and long.
And the Bison might be forced into this run-heavy offense just due to lack of depth. We have noticed a trend. A lot of their offensive skill position players on both sides of the ball.
So Jordan White is the lone wide receiver right now on 3rd and 11.
Very interesting play called there in formation, especially on such a long.
They put long in motion. Now they'll hand it off. This one's to Blake again. Blake needs 11 yards, and he's going to pick it up. On 3rd and 11, they hand it off, and they've got enough for the first down out across the 40 to the 41. So the Bison are going to live and die by the run tonight. It was 3rd and 6. They were going to run it there, backed up 5 more yards to 3rd and 11, and they'll still trust that run. Blake had enough to pick it up, and the Bison get their first down of the night here, and now nearing midfield at the 42.
And Brady, like you said, just like St. Thomas Aquinas, supreme trust in the run there, running it on 3rd and long just like they did earlier in the regular season.
Blake again in the backfield. They'll give it to him again. He tries to break a tackle, now does, and will spin down there, a pickup of 5 yards on 1st down to the 46-yard line. So it'll be now 2nd down and 5 yards. Blake now subbed out. Coming in for him is the fullback, Trey Dyer. Second down and 5 now from the Tigers. Bison nearing midfield here on their opening possession. Needham is under center again. It's Dyer in the backfield. They're confused there. They tried to put a man in motion. That was Jeremiah Looney. Maybe not exactly sure of the play call. Now he goes in motion as it's snapped. Dyer gets the handoff, and he's got enough for another first down.
Oh, and it looks like the ball is out.
At the very end of the play, the ball came out. It would have been the second first down. Instead, the Tigers recover, and they get a turnover on their opening drive. So Dyer, on his first carry of the game, sets the football onto the ground, and the Tigers take advantage. 8:44 to go. Tigers will take over now at midfield.
And that is just what can happen when you keep the ball on the ground so much. Kawan Blake coming out of the game and backup fullback Dyer into the game and just comes loose for the Tigers there. Big play on defense.
First handoff of the game for Dyer, and he puts it on the ground. Certainly not what you want to do. Maybe his confidence will be dwindling early. John Price in the backfield here as they put a man in motion. That's Ben Dalkey. Dalkey, the game winner last week. His first touchdown of the season came with 39 seconds to go. Price on his first handoff of the game. A big hole now to the 20, 15, 10, and an amazing start for the Tigers. One play after the turnover, John Price goes 54 yards into the end zone, and the Tigers have an early 6-0 lead.
And what a massive statement there from John Price on the first play of the drive. Right up the right sideline, finds a crease and switches back. What an incredible run, and we've seen that so many times from him this year.
Price went down with an injury in the first half of last week's game. The Tigers certainly missed him. They only scored one touchdown without Price on the field. That was the game winner with 39 seconds to go. And here, the Tigers can't even wait a play to get into the end zone with 23 on the field. Price goes for 54 on the first Tiger snap of the night, and the Tigers lead is 7-0 with 8:33 to go. An 11-second 54-yard run there from John Price, and the Tigers lead at 7-0. A huge momentum swing there on the fumble. The Bison would have been across midfield on their opening drive if it wasn't for the fumble from Dyer. The Tigers took advantage, and it takes them one play to find the end zone. John Price's 11th rushing touchdown of the year. That puts him now over 800 yards rushing. 849 yards rushing on the season. Now for John Price, if you include the postseason with his 8 regular season games, he did miss some time. A couple of injuries and a suspension for John Price in the regular season, still able to tally 10 total touchdowns, and on one play this postseason, John Price has as many touchdowns. 8:33 to go, the Bison will get their second possession of the game. They did not throw on their opening drive, they were able to just get it across midfield. Richmond's kick into the end zone for a touchback there.
Richmond's kick goes to the end zone. Ball will be out at the 20-yard line, where the Bison take over. First down and 10.
And this Bison offense showing a lot of power formations early, really only showing one receiver at a time, typically one out wide. We're going to see if they do anything else. It looks like 2 wide now.
2 wide receivers on this play. On the near side, it's Jordan White. We'll see, when are we going to see Jacob Needham's first throw of the game? He hands this one off to Blake.
Kawan Blake, the ball carrier.
Blake good for 4 yards there on first down to the Tiger 25-yard line. So Blake back in the game after Dyer's fumble. Second down and 5 now here for the Bison.
In play. Bring up second down and 5. Bison, 25-yard line.
Nathan Doolin, the far side receiver. Again, it's White on the near side. Needham looks around there. Some miscommunication. Somebody was lined up on the wrong side. Now they hand this one off to Blake. Blake met at the line of scrimmage, trying to fight through a couple of tackles. He does for a gain of maybe 3 yards, and it's going to be 3rd and about 2 here. So the Tigers, after a big score on their drive, now have a chance to force a 3-and-out. They're going to have to get to the Bison here at the line of scrimmage. They only need 2 yards.
And these Bison have looked confused on offense at times. Looked like last drive almost had a false start with some of the receivers in motion.
Seems to be Jeremiah Looney both times. He hasn't known when to break for his motions. Hand off to Blake. He only needs 2 yards. He's stonewalled at the line of scrimmage. Maybe even a loss of 1 there on 3rd down. And we'll see if the Bison will punt here. It'll be 4th down. The offense looks to still be on the field. They only need 2 yards. They've got Blake in the backfield. We haven't seen much of this Bison offense, but from what I've seen so far, I'm sure they've got a lot of trust in number 21. So 4th down and 2. Tigers already leading 7-0. There was a turnover on the opening drive for the Bison, and now a 4th down well inside their own territory at the 27. They're going to go for it. They'll hand it off to Blake. No, they fake it. It's the quarterback, Needham. And he got enough for it. He needed 2. He got 3. The fake handoff really fooled the Tigers there. There was a stone wall at the line of scrimmage. If they had handed that off to Blake, he certainly wouldn't have got it. But it was a fake. The quarterback took it outside, and there was plenty of room to run. He gets 3 yards and moves the chains. Their second first down of the night. Out now to the 32-yard line. 6:15 left to play here in this first quarter action. Tigers lead at 7-0. White again, the lone wide receiver near side. First time we've seen 2 wide receivers on the same side. This one's going to be a handoff to Blake. Blake has got a little bit of an opening there.
Come on, Blake, the ball carrier.
8 yards on first down. It'll bring up 2nd down and 2 from the 40. Run game working pretty well so far for the Bison, and honestly, it was working on that first drive too. It was just a fumble that set them back, but I will remind you on that carry in which he fumbled, he had enough for the first down, and it would have set them up into Tigers territory.
And it does look like Dyer back into the game for the first time since that fumble that was so crucial for the Tigers.
So with 5:30 to go, Dyer might get another chance here on 2nd down and 2. Bison still have confidence in Dyer. No, they'll pitch it this time outside. Enough for a first down. Plenty of room on the edge. Pushed out of bounds there at the 45. Jeremiah Looney. We've seen Looney be a little bit jumpy at that line of scrimmage. Not sure when to go in motion. He's been pretty confused so far tonight, but he picks up 5 there on 2nd down and 2, and he's got enough to move the chains again. 1st and 10 now from the 45 here for the Bison. They're nearing midfield. They haven't had a snap from Tiger territory so far tonight, despite crossing into their half on a play in which they fumbled the ball. White again lines up on the near side. He's the only wide receiver on the field. Dyer stays in the game, lined up behind the quarterback Needham. In motion is Looney. They hand it to Dyer up the middle. Dyer out to the 50-yard line. They'll spot him at the Tiger 49, so almost the same spot. Dyer from his own 45 onto the other side of the field. This time he's able to hold on to it, and it brings up 2nd down and 4 now. Just under 5 minutes to go first quarter. 2nd and 4 now for this Bison offense. Certainly an aggressive start to the game so far. Despite fumbling and being down 7-0 from inside their own 30, they went forward on 4th and 2. So we're seeing some aggression. Despite that aggression coming in the run game, there's Dyer again. A gain of just 1 there. Tigers run defense trying to come alive here on 3rd down and 3 now.
And this defensive line has held pretty strong thus far. Kawan, Blake, and Dyer only good for about 3 or 4 yards per carry, but they're going to have to stop them on 3rd and 4th down, obviously, since Shawnee Mission North are so inclined to run the ball.
And on a huge 3rd down, you'll see Kawan Blake has come back into the game for Dyer. Trey Dyer subbed off on 3rd and 3. They get Blake in the game. They'll fake it to him. It's the quarterback again. Now he pitches out across the 45. Room to run. Michael Andry brings him down there at the Tiger 35-yard line. That's Joshua Long. Good job to fool the Tigers there. We've seen a lot of handoffs to Blake. There is a flag down on the backside. Likely a hold now as the players return to the line of scrimmage. So 3rd down and 3. It'll be an illegal shift. And we've seen that a lot tonight. It was Joshua Long again. He moved early. Josiah Long, he moved early. He was in motion early, and we've seen these wide receivers very confused tonight. Looney and Long have been moving early when they're supposed to come in motion. Not something you'd expect to see in the 9th game of a season, especially the postseason. These are kinks that you'd expect to be worked out early on in the year, maybe week 1, week 2, players not really knowing where they're supposed to be. But we're now in the first week of the postseason, and we're still seeing these jittery wide receivers at the line of scrimmage. And now a whistle and a timeout. This one's going to be a timeout from the Bison on 3rd down and 8. Maybe some early confusion there on that Bison sideline. They've had some success in the run game. Josiah's long carry would have had them out to the 35 on 1st and 10. 3:37 to go now. So 3rd and 8 following the timeout. 3:37 to go, first quarter. Tigers still holding on to a 7-0 lead. The Tigers offense has only run one play so far tonight. It ended in a 54-yard touchdown. Bison offense back out onto the field on 3rd and 8. See what they go with here. They've got a wide receiver on the near side of your screen. That's Jordan White. We'll see if they sub in another. They will. Nathan Doolin lines up in the slot on the same side as White. Kawan Blake in the backfield, 3rd down and 8. Still no throws yet. They're going to pitch it to Blake.
Ball is out.
Did not grab it, and the Tigers have it again.
And it's fallen on by Zach Combo.
For the 2nd time already tonight, the Tigers have forced a fumble. Maybe that one not as much forced as the first. It was a bad pitch. Needham threw it behind Blake, and the ball was on the ground. Blake couldn't fall back on it, and the Tigers recover. So in as many drives, the Tigers have 2 fumble recoveries and now a chance to extend their lead out to 2 scores.
And that is just not a mistake that you can afford to make in the quarterback position. Pitching it behind the ball, running back needs to make the adjustment. And that's sloppy quarterback play, you have to say.
The Bison offense hasn't looked bad. They've been succeeding in the run game, and we've just seen some silly mistakes, really. Both fumbles, and then the penalty right before the fumble. They would have had it set up at the 35-yard line of the Tigers.
And you have to say, just about every run play for the Bison, Kawan Blake looks to be good for about 3 to 4 yards. But just silly mistakes, motions, and things going wrong mentally for this Bison team right now.
So 2nd and 5, a rush by Price on 1st down went for 5 yards. They put Samuel in motion from left to right. Now they'll pitch it to Price, trying to get him on the outside. Runs into a tackler, tries to break it, and now a swarm of Bison are there in the Tiger backfield. They'll lose a yard on 2nd down, and it's now a 3rd and 6. Tigers now to 3 plays so far in the game. Price has all 3 touches. 3rd down and 6 here. We'll see if the Tigers will throw for the first time tonight. Blue Valley without star receiver Andre Davis tonight. They've got Westfall Dalkey and Thomas Harold out there, as well as the tight end Gatlin Samuel. And they jumped. It's going to be a false start there on the Bison, offsides on the Bison with 2:24 to go. So it's going to be now 3rd and a yard. That's a big break for the Tigers. What was looking like a passing down, they haven't thrown it yet. Now 3rd and 1, and you can pretty much trust John Price to pick up any yard on 3rd down and 1 here. 2:20 to go. We'll see what the Tigers go with on 3rd and 1 from the 31-yard line. Brush hands this one off. Price, he only needs a yard, and he's got it out to the 28-yard line of the Bison. A big first down there. 2:03 to go, so before the Tigers can run another play, the first quarter clock will run under 2 minutes to go. Tigers lead it by 7 with the ball. Now inside Bison territory at the 28. Still no passes from either side. Only 1:50 left in the first quarter. We're yet to see our first passing play of the game. On 1st and 10, we'll see what the Tigers go with here. Price lines up to the left of Brush now. Don't see sets like that often. First throw caught by Westfall, now dropped at the last second. It was in and out of his hands. Good throw there from Brush. Certainly a catchable ball there from Westfall. Goes in and out, and it's 2nd down and 10 now.
And we did see Westfall get heavily involved towards the end of last week's game. to earn this home game for Blue Valley against Blue Valley West. Huge 4th and 9 conversion that he had last week, and also got involved in a huge chunk play on that drive. We'll see if he gets a lot more touches because of Andre Davis's injury.
That 4th and 9 catch was a great one, super contested, and it kept the Tigers game alive, and it really helped them out in the postseason standings. If they don't pick that up, they fall to 3 and 5, and instead of hosting a playoff game, they would have been on the road for the duration of their postseason campaign. That last play run by Price, good for maybe a yard. They'll say no gain on the play, and it's 3rd and 10 here for the Tigers. 1:33 to go, first quarter.
No gain on the play. Brings it 3rd down 10 for the Tigers at the Bison 28-yard line.
Pistol set here for Brush and the Tigers. 3rd and 10. You'd expect a pass here from Blue Valley. Westphal, Dalkey, and Harold, the wide receivers on the field, and in that order. Brush on a sprint out, fires looking for Westphal, and he's got it inside the 20, and he'll be spun down at the 16-yard line. The Tigers on 3rd and 10 are able to pick it up. Westphal gets the first reception of the game, and Blue Valley moves the chains now into the red zone for the first time tonight.
And 12 yards on the play. Brings up the Blue Valley Tigers.
So now 1:15 to play. Blue Valley's picked up a fresh set of downs to the 16-yard line of the Bison. Price lines up right behind Trevor Brush. Thomas Harold, the near side receiver. Dalkey comes in motion from right to left. They'll hand this one off up the middle to Price. Price spinning out of a tackle, now inside the 5, and the ball comes out at the last second. Price got it back, and he scores his 2nd touchdown of the game. You don't see a play like that often. John Price fumbled the football. It came out of his hands, and somehow a miracle bounce right back to him. He scoops it off the turf and walks into the end zone for the 2nd Tiger touchdown this quarter. And with 53 seconds to play left in the first quarter, Price has got 2 rushing touchdowns. That's 12 on the season and 2 tonight.
For the Tigers.
John Price's 4th multi-rushing touchdown game of the season. Still in the first quarter, 53 seconds to go. He's already got 2. He's scored 3 twice, and also 2 touchdown game to match him. This is 4th time scoring multiple touchdowns in a game, and the Tigers with a 14-0 lead. Both turnovers from the Bison have been answered for 6 from the Tigers. They lead at 14-0, and the Bison haven't looked bad this game offensively. A lot of their running offense has worked against this Tigers defense, and it's just the mistakes. A bad pitch leads to a turnover, and the Tigers get 7 there, and then on their opening drive, it was a would-be first down carry across midfield, fumbled again, and Blue Valley takes advantage. They lead 14-0, and the Bison have ran 2 drives and turned it over as many times. 53 seconds to go left in this first quarter, and it's been all Blue Valley so far.
John Price tonight has just been so devastating to this North Bison's team. Every mistake they've made has been punished by an explosive play on the other end on his part, and that's been what he's doing when he's been healthy and available for the Tigers this season.
Not common to see a running back fumble the football in the secondary and then have enough time to pick it back up themselves and score. Now this one's fumbled into the end zone, but it'll be for a touchback. It was Jeremiah Looney there, not able to get a good grip on it. Good for a touchback there, and their drive will begin from the 20, trailing by 2 scores at 14-0, and the Bison are going to look to get their first score of the game here, and they certainly need it. Down 14. They've been able to work the ball across midfield twice tonight, but both of those just momentarily. One of their rushes down to the 35 was revoked. A penalty moved them back, and then they fumbled the next play, and then they fumbled on their first possession right when they got across midfield. Here's a handoff on first down. This one's Dyer. A gain of 1 there on the play.
It looks like North moving away from their bell cow back, Kawan Blake, and getting Dyer some more touches now.
Both running backs now with a fumble. Kawan Blake, I don't think actually is going to be credited for a fumble there. It was just a pitch right behind him. He was able to get a hand on it and then kind of just gave up on the play. 2nd down and 8 now. Needham fakes the handoff, now pitches this one to Looney. Looney will be short of a first down, maybe a gain of 8 there, and a flag comes in late.
Flag on the play.
Jeremiah Looney there working that far sideline. Maybe had 7 yards there. A penalty came in. Without the penalty, it would have been 3rd and 2. So a pickup of 6. See who this is going to go on. Nobody's moved yet for either side. They're going to get the Bison with a hold. So it'll remain 2nd down. We'll see how far they move it. Was 2nd and 8. You'd expect 3rd and 18, but sometimes they do it from the spot of the foul. So if it's a downfield hold, could be less than that. They move them back to the 15-yard line. So it's 2nd and 15. So they back them up just 7 yards there, and it's going to be a replay of 2nd down with 19 seconds to go in the quarter. 14-0 Blue Valley. 19 seconds remaining in this opening quarter of postseason football for the Tigers, and they've got the Bison backed up to their own 15 on 2nd down and 15. Needham is under center. They'll hand this one off to Blake there. Back just a yard shy of the 1st down marker. That was actually Trey Dyer, so he's been in the game so far after Blake gave up on that fumble. That'll take us to an end of the 1st quarter. So 12 minutes of play. The Tigers have outscored the Bison 14-0. The Bison have turned it over twice, and the Tigers have taken advantage on both of those turnovers. John Price with 2 first-quarter rushing touchdowns. He's got 4 multi-touchdown games so far this season and 12 total touchdowns on the year. Price closing in on that 900 rushing yard number despite missing a number of games this season. An electric player for Blue Valley this season, and he continues to shine here in the opening round of the postseason. When the 2nd quarter begins, it'll be 3rd and 15 for the Bison from their own 15-yard line. So the Tigers certainly have them in a hole here. If Blue Valley can force a punt here, which you'd expect them to on 3rd and 15, but maybe a pickup of 10 here would give the Bison enough confidence to go for it on 4th down. We already saw them go for it on 4th down from inside their own 30 on their 2nd drive of the game. They had 4th and 2 from the 27, and they went for it. They were able to convert, but certainly seeing some aggression here. Maybe you'd expect even more aggression now, down by 14 points. Looking for any sort of life they can get. The Bison coming to this game at 2-6. Certainly not a winning season that the Bison would be happy for, but anything can happen now in the playoffs, and maybe you'd expect them to just have a mentality that they don't really care what happens in this game. And now the first passing play of the night is going to end up in a sack for the Tigers back to the original line of scrimmage. So there's no loss on the play there on that sack, and it's going to force a 4th and 10. The punt unit will come on.
And you get the sense that this Shawnee Mission North Bison team are going to have to be aggressive with very minimal offensive opportunities this game that they're having so far.
So now the Tigers have a rare opportunity. It hasn't come much for them this season, if at all. If they can get into the end zone here after forcing this punt, they can have a 3-score lead in the 1st half. This kick is away safely. It's going to hop inside the 50. Lonergan directs his team to get away from it now. A good hop to the 44-yard line is where it'll be down, so the Tigers will have good field positioning on their 3rd drive of the game. It's 14-0 Tigers, and they'll get it right back here with 11:08 to go in this 2nd quarter. Blue Valley with an opportunity to possibly go up 3 scores if they can find their way into the end zone here. First Bison punt of the game. They've had 2 fumbles, and that punt there on 4th down and 10. Now from the 44, the Tigers offense will head to the field again. Pistol set here for brushing that Blue Valley offense with John Price in the backfield. They put Dalkey in motion. They'll fake it to him. They give it to Price, and Price is going to lose a couple here on 1st down. A loss of just a yard there back to the 43. And it'll be 2nd and 11, and the Bison were certainly ready for Price there. See what the Tigers do now on a 2nd and long. We've seen 2 passes from Blue Valley so far tonight, both of them intended for Grady Westfall. Big 2nd and long now here for the Tigers. Harold, the near side receiver. Dalkey right there with them. far side receiver is Grady Westfall. Andre Davis out tonight. Here's quick throw near side for Harold, and it's in and out of his hands. It was a high throw. Harold tried to go up and get that one, couldn't quite bring it down, and now it's 3rd down and 11. Second, 3rd and long of the game so far for the Tigers. Last time they had a big 3rd down, they went to Grady Westfall. And typically, when the Tigers have a big 3rd down, they go to Andre Davis. Westfall stepped into his place despite being a sophomore, and he's still being the lead target on 3rd down. Brush does look his way on 3rd down. Westfall trying to come back to it, but it's Dolke wide open down the middle of the field. Dolke will score! Touchdown number 2 on the season. He had his first with 39 seconds to go in last week's game. And he
that is
doesn't wait.
Back-to-back touchdowns for Mr. Ben Dalkey. Got the game winner last week on the passing play by Max Rudman into the flat, and responds again this week with a bang. Huge chunk play for the Tigers.
In Dalkey's first 7 games, he had no touchdowns, and now in his last 2, he has 2. First one coming with 39 seconds last week. Not going to wait as long tonight, as with 10:21 to go in the second quarter, Dalkey finds the end zone, and on 3rd and 11, the Tigers go all the way into the end zone, and they've got a 21-0 lead here in the first half. 10:21 to go, and the Bison are going to need to look for an answer, or their season could be coming to an abrupt finish. A dominant first half of football so far here for the Tigers. We've played less than 14 minutes, and the Tigers have scored 21 points.
And you do get the sense that the confidence is starting to grow slimmer and slimmer for the Shawnee Mission North offense, especially after so many mental mistakes early, and they've really been punished well by the Blue Valley Tigers. Every single time they turn the ball back over to the Tigers with the short field situation, they punish them immediately, and they do it again on that drive as well.
Just 2 minutes into the second quarter, the Tigers have a 3-score lead at 21-0. So McGuire, Richmond, and the Tigers will be set to kick it off now for the 4th time tonight. Bison with 2 fumbles and a punt so far in this game. On their 3 drives, they've yet to find the end zone, and on the Tigers' 3 drives, they've been into the end zone on all 3, leading to a 21-0 lead. Richmond's kick is away. All 3 of them have been taken for touchbacks so far tonight, and there will be touchback number 4. 10:21 to go. The Bison will get it right back, and they are certainly in desperate need of a score here. 21-0 is the Tiger lead.
The Bison take over 1st down and 10.
So we'll see what the Bison offense is going to go with here. We saw on that 3rd down, they were looking to throw it for the first time tonight. Needham was unable to release it. He was sacked. So we still haven't seen a pass yet from the Bison. Obviously, their running offense hasn't quite worked so far. No touchdowns on 3 drives. Now drive number 4. It'll be a handoff here to Kawan Blake. Now Blake's got an opening. He's across the 35, down short of the 40. There's a big run to open this drive. Bison needing a spark. They need some life.
And it looks like Dyer coming back in, so pretty much a split backfield for the Shawnee Mission North team.
Blake had seemed to be the better running back so far tonight, and we saw it again there, a huge hole, and they just subbed Trey Dyer right back in. Blake waiting on the sideline. All he can do is watch as Dyer will pick up maybe 3 yards there on 1st down. 9:45 to go in this second quarter. Blake will remain on the sideline. Right now it's Trey Dyer's backfield.
He's on 2nd down 6 for the Bison.
2nd and 6 now from the 43-yard line. Jacob Needham relying the play to the offense. Only wide receiver on the field is Jordan White.
And you get the sense that Michael Andrew on that far side is going to have a very quiet day.
Jeremiah Looney again, not sure where he needs to be. Faked like he was going in motion. Now he does go in motion as it's snapped. Trey Dyer will get the handoff, and there's Wombold on a good tackle, shoving him out of bounds there at the 45. Good for 2 yards. It'll bring up 3rd and 4. And we've seen these wide receivers all night. They're not sure when to motion. seems odd to see in the 9th week of a season, but doing it again there was Jeremiah Looney, and it's been him so far all night. Also seen it happen to Josiah Long. Long was actually penalized for it on a play in which he rushed for over 10 yards, and now we see Trey Dyer head to the sideline in exchange for Kwan Blake. Lone wide receiver is again Jordan White. Blake in the backfield on 3rd down and 4. So we're seeing Blake is more of a 3rd down back so far tonight. Long goes in motion. They give it to Blake. He will have enough for the 1st down across midfield and down to the Tiger 46-yard line. They'll say the 47 now. So Blake has certainly been more reliable early in this game, and now there's a Tiger down, and that's...
Looks like Jason Burrows down on the play.
That's a bad sign for Blue Valley. Burrows kicking his feet there. He's certainly in some pain.
And he's been such a huge part of this Tiger defense all year.
Just a junior, but Jason Burrows has been great for Blue Valley so far. You hate to see him down. And the Tigers have really been hit with the injury bug in a majority of the season, and now week 1 of the postseason, they're going to be hit again.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of offensive injuries so far this season. This is really the first major one on defense. We'll see. He looks to be walking off on his own power, so we'll see if he is able to return in this one. But
tough injury there for the Tigers. The only upside is that they do lead 21-0, so if he can't return tonight, they just would hope to get him healthy for next week, obviously, if the Tigers do hold on to this 3-score lead. Jason Burrows is a great defender for Blue Valley, and like Ryan said, it's been a lot of offensive injuries. Price has been out with some injuries this season. Davis still out suffering injury. Alex Smorin still out with injury. A lot of the Tigers receivers and running backs have been out so far this season. That was the first big defensive injury, and now there's a dead ball flag here. They'll get the offense with an illegal substitution, 12 men on the field. Heading to the sideline is Judah Jones, so maybe not quite supposed to be on the field there, and it turns a 1st and 10 into a 1st and 15, and now they're back outside of Tiger territory to their 48-yard line. Blake remains in the game. They'll give it to him here. Blake trying to cut it out. That's actually Looney in the backfield there. First time he's lined up as a running back.
Brought down play by Alex Wumble.
Looney able to get it out to the 47-yard line of the Tigers, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 10, so a pickup of 5 there.
Brady, it is worth noting with this 21-point lead, the Tigers will most likely get Andre Davis back next week. He did speak to me prior to this game and said that he's going to try and give it a go next week if he can't be in this game this week at all.
Quan Blake now subbed back into the game for Jeremiah Looney. He's in the backfield. Put a man in motion. They fake it. Now the quarterback Needham's going to take it. Now he flips it to Jeremiah Long. Josiah Long has got the 1st down. Second time we've seen that play tonight. The first time we saw it, there was a penalty on the backside of the play, a hold on the Bison that neglected a big gain of 10 plus. It was a 1st down gain that got them down to the Tiger 35. Last time they ran that one, and it came all the way back after the holding penalty. That time, there's no penalty, and on 2nd and 10, they pick up 11 and are able to move the chains now to the Tiger 37-yard line. Blake remains in the game here on 1st down and 10. Blake will get the handoff, and there's nowhere for him to run on 1st down, just a pickup of a yard. 2nd down and 9 now.
Brought down the play by Lincoln Stubbe.
Seems every play you got to be watching that sideline, see who's coming in, who's coming out, because they just go with a bunch of different ball carriers here. They might not be passing it very often, but who's getting handed off the football is always going to be a question. So 2nd down and 9 now. We'll see who lines up on the backfield. They've got 2 backs back there. Blake, one of them here on 2nd down and 9. They will give it to Blake up the middle. He's looking for room to run, and he stumbles down. He'll be a yard shy of the 1st down marker. It'll be 3rd down and 1 now to the Tiger 28-yard line. A huge 3rd and 1, and if they can't pick this one up, you would expect them to go for it. 6:03 remaining here in the 1st half. The officials are going to take a timeout of their own here. Terrell didn't call one. Refs maybe going to chat about something here. So nobody charged with a timeout.
And it looks like there might be an injured player on the field. Number 51 for Shawnee Mission North appears to have his helmet off and is being escorted to the sideline.
North certainly using this intermission as a timeout. As you can see, the players huddled up there over towards the sideline as their injured player heads off. The Tigers defense was lined up and ready on the field. A big 3rd down and 1. North got a second to talk about it there. Blake is in the backfield on 3rd down. He's been reliable all night. See if the Tigers can put up a stone wall here. 3rd and 1. Blake gets it. He's got enough for the first. Inside the Tiger 25, they'll spot him at the 23, enough for a first down. 5:30 remaining here in this first half. Tigers lead at 21-0, but the Bison threatening here, a chance for them to try and at least get a little bit of life going into the half, maybe some momentum. Tigers still haven't been kept out of the end zone on any of their offensive drives so far tonight, but a score here for the Bison could cut it back to a 14-point game and would be big for momentum. They can keep the Tigers out on the following drive. Blake still in the backfield. They put Long in motion. Needham dropped the snap. Had to take it himself there, tried to improvise. He's back now to the Tiger 25, a loss of 1, and it brings up 2nd and 11.
We've seen a lot of ball security issues with Needham so far in this game. The pitch behind his running back and then dropping the snap. I think that's a second drop snap that we've seen for him so far in this game. So Tigers able to take advantage of these mistakes.
Some strange offense so far. It almost seems like most of these North players are just not ready to be in the scheme they're in. Something you see maybe week 1, week 2 in practice in the summer, and it's the 9th week of the season, the playoffs, and a lot of these players are still working out some of those kinks. Needham now is going to pitch this one, just barely able to get a grip on it there was Judah Jones, almost another fumble on a pitch. Needham didn't quite handle the snap well, and they almost turn it over for the 3rd time tonight. They're able to get a yard there, though, and it brings up 3rd and 10 and a huge 3rd down. They've only attempted one pass tonight, but they were dropped for a sack, so we haven't seen Needham throw the football yet, and on 3rd and 10, we'll see what they do from inside Tiger territory. Down 3 scores.
From the 23-yard
We've seen them go for it on 4th down already tonight, so from Tiger territory, maybe you'd expect this to be 4-down territory, despite it still just being the first half. 3:55 to go. This is a huge 3rd down. Kawan Blake in the backfield. We haven't seen Dyer in some time. They'll give it to Blake. Blake is met at the line, and he's pile driven back. Only a gain of a yard there on 3rd down, and now a big 4th and 9. Needham and the offense will stay on the field. Needham heading all the way to the sideline to get the play from his coach. 3:23 to go.
22-yard line.
Players signaling for a kick here. Seems the wide receivers doing a kicking motion. Many of their players as well. Saw the quarterback Needham do it as he headed to the sideline, and they're going to take their 2nd time out of the half. Normally you see the players bargaining to go for it. Almost every game, the offense is going to want to stay on the field. Here we saw some signals as if they were ready to kick the football on 4th down and 9.
Yeah, not sure why that is really, because if I'm Shawnee Mission North, I'm definitely wanting to be more aggressive here, especially with minimum opportunities that this Blue Valley offense is going to give you. Obviously, defense hasn't been able to stop them thus far.
And with their season on the line as well, the loser of this game, their season is over and already trailing by 3 scores at 21-0. Almost got nothing to lose at this point. You'd want to go for it on 4th and 9 if you've got a chance to cut it to a 2-score lead, but a field goal here would keep the deficit at 18, and it would be 3 scores. So at 4th down and 9, maybe the coach was bargaining to go for it there. Roles reversed. The players wanted to kick it. Coach wanted to go for it there. Refs trying to break the huddle as there's a long talk on that Bison sideline, and we'll see what awaits here on 4th down and 9.
State volleyball tournament. They've reached the semifinals where they will take on Blue Valley North tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. Let's go Tigers.
So I don't see Needham on the field. He is there under center with Blake right behind him. 2 wide receivers on the field. Jordan White, now they put a man in motion. It's Looney. They flip it to Looney. He's going to throw it into the end zone. Lonergan is there, and it's juggled and then incomplete. Lonergan had his hands on it. It was a battle between Nathan Doolin and Anthony Lonergan. Lonergan able to knock it away. And on 4th down and 9, the Tigers are able to force a turnover, and Lonergan may be hurt there in the corner of the end zone, holding on to his arm. He does seem to be working out his arm there on the sideline. Luckily for him, Tigers defense got off the field there. So Blue Valley will now have 3 minutes and 3 seconds with a 21-0 lead and all 3 of their timeouts to try and take a 4-score lead to the half, and they will get the kickoff to open half number 2. Brush puts Dalkey in motion. They'll give it to Dalkey on an end around. Dalkey looking for the edge. A flag comes down right at that line of scrimmage. Dalkey was brought down in the backfield back to the 20, and a flag is down. Likely a hold here on Blue Valley. We await the call. Tigers have scored on all 3 of their drives so far tonight. This is the only one that'll be restricted by time. They've got 2 minutes and 56 seconds to go almost the entire length of the field.
Holding, offense number 35. 10-yard penalty.
So they'll get a hold on Gatlin Samuel there. And we'll see where they move him back. They'll move him back to the 11-yard line, so it's now going to be 1st and 21, an 11-yard hold penalty there.
Brings a 1st down and 21 Tigers at their own.
So the Tigers from here are going to have to go 89 yards in 2 minutes, 56 seconds if they want to get back into the end zone. Price with 2 touchdowns in that first quarter. Dalkey had the second quarter touchdown and a whistle before the play again. And it's going to be a false start on the offense, so they make it a little bit tougher for themselves yet again. It's going to be 1st and 26 from the 6-yard line. Now instead of 89 yards, Tigers are going to have to go 94 yards. First and 26 for the Tigers here on what will likely be their final drive of the first half. They give it to Price. He needs 26 yards. Price has got some room, and he's back even across the original line of scrimmage, and he'll get almost all of it back there. And the Tigers are going to have 2nd down and maybe 5 yards, maybe even less than that. A rush of over 20 there by John Price. And on 1st and 26, the Bison just don't have an answer for Price there. And with 2:46 to go, the clock will stop. Tigers still holding on to all 3 of their timeouts.
And really, not only the Bison, but most of the teams that the Tigers have played have struggled to find an answer for Mr. Price in the backfield.
John Price, certainly one of the best players in Kansas football so far this season, takes a big pop there on 2nd down. Met in the backfield, and it's going to be 3rd down now and 6. Big 3rd down here for Blue Valley. Certainly don't want to give it back. Tigers have scored on every drive. This would be big momentum-wise going into the half if the Bison could get their first stop even. Could also be a lot of these Bison players are fatigued, most of them playing both sides of the ball. Wide receiver Jordan White, Josiah Long there also. A lot of these wide receivers also playing corner. We're now under 2 minutes to go here in the first half of play. 3rd and 5 for the Tigers. Brush slings it over the middle for Dalkey. That one goes incomplete, and it'll be 4th down now for the Tigers. So Blue Valley, for the first time all game, will not find the end zone. Will Stroud will be back in punt formation for the Tigers. 1:58 to go. 1 timeout now for the Bison, and maybe they're thinking about trying to mount a scoring drive before this half can come to a close. They trail 21-0 with just under 2 minutes left to play.
Timeout. Blue Valley.
So Tigers take their first time out with 1:58 to go. They were in punt formation, so not sure what the Tigers wanted to talk about.
If you have an urgent orthopedic or sports injury, The University of Kansas Health System can see you quickly.
1:58 to play.
For that extended hours during the week.
Terrell's going to talk about this punt with his group over there. We did see a fake punt last week. That was the first fake punt of the season. It was unsuccessful. Tigers were still able to come back from that unsuccessful fake punt to win the game. One of the best finishes we've seen all year around the league. The Tigers took the lead with 39 seconds to go to beat their arch rivals in a big Week 8 game that got them to 4-4 and earned them this home playoff game. An incredible finish last week. 1:58 to go, and we've seen an incredible first half of football here from the Tigers, leading 21-0. Stroud is in punt formation. It'll be one timeout for the Bison. Stroud will punt this one away. It's a line drive kick. It'll hop before it gets to the intended returner, and he has to dive down to field that one, and they'll get it at the 33 to begin their drive. 1:52 to go. In the run-heavy offense, we'll only have one timeout in a minute, and they'll likely be putting it on the ground again.
Following the punt.
We just saw their first pass attempt from the game, and it didn't even come from their quarterback, Jacob Needon. It was Jeremiah Looney that threw up a jump ball into the corner of the end zone on 4th down and 9. When incomplete, it was intended for Nathan Doolin, but Lonergan was there to win the battle. 1st and 10 from the 32. We'll see how aggressive the Bison will be here with 1:52 to play. They trail by 21. Certainly a need for aggression and a need for a spark here. We do see Trey Dyer back in the game. Dyer gets the handoff. And again, we'll go nowhere with it on 1st down. This Tigers defensive front has been great so far at limiting the gains of these Bison running backs. They've been stopping them right at that line of scrimmage, with the exception of just a couple of plays by Quan Blake, where he's broken into that secondary for big 1st down runs. The Tigers have also forced 2 fumbles from these backs, one from each of them. Dyer's put it on the ground once, and then a mishandled snap and pitch when Quan Blake was the back. Now looking for a pass is Needham. Second pass attempt of the game, and it'll be the second sack of the night for this Tigers defense. So they've dropped back to pass 3 times. They've only gotten one of those throws off. The Tigers pick up sack number 2. 1:13 to go. The clock is stopped right now after a sack. So, yeah, the Bison use their final timeout. It'll be 3rd and 14, backed up now inside their 30. It'll take a little over 70 yards, 72 yards to get themselves into the end zone with 1:13, and now no timeouts left. Only seen them get one pass attempt off so far. So for them to go 70 yards in the span of 1:13.
It does look like every time Needham has even dropped back to show a pass, I mean, we've only seen it about 2 or 3 times this game, but every time he does, the offensive line just completely allows the pressure to get to him. And it may just be a case of them not having enough time to get routes going down the field, and they just have to run this ball pretty much every time that they get the ball.
I know I've said it before, but I'll say it again. It seems every time Needham's got into that backfield, he's been afraid to stay in the pocket, just always running for his life, and that's, again, something you see from a team who's played maybe 1 or 2 games together. Just a jittery offense, it seems. Nobody really knowing exactly where they need to be, and now we're going to see a shotgun snap here on 3rd and 14. Needham looking to throw. He had time. Now he steps up, trying to get away from the Tigers' front. He'll pick up a couple of yards there on 3rd down. Short of the 40, so a solid pickup there, but it'll bring up 4th down, and again, Needham there was reluctant to stay in the pocket. He had some time to throw, and then he saw green grass in front of him and just sprinted straight down the field. Tigers use a timeout there, so they're down to their final timeout now. They've got 1 left. Scoreboard shows that the Bison still have 1, but they have used 3. Just over a minute to go. 63 seconds left in this first half. Tigers 21-0 the lead. Maybe trying to get the ball back here on 4th down and 6. You wouldn't expect the Bison to go for it here. Terrell trying to keep as much time on that clock as he can for his offense. 4th and 6. Lonergan heads back deep to return this one for Blue Valley. Tigers have had just one kick or punt return this season, and that came from Alex Warrens, a man who's played less than a half of football.
It looks like.
There's no punter on the field on 4th down and 6 from their own side of the 50. And again there, a motion from Jeremiah Looney, and he goes back to his original spot. Almost start to think that it's by design that they do these fake motions, but seems odd. Looney's just never knowing where to go. Play clock winding down now. And a timeout is taken there by the Bison. So I thought they were out of timeouts, but maybe they did have one left. 1:03 to go.
The Blue Valley Tigers select the team.
So they used their final timeout, 63 seconds to go, and maybe now we'll see them punt. They went up to the line there, maybe just a couple of hard counts trying to get the Tigers to jump, but it's still 4th down and 6 from the 36.
Kansas City Orthopedic Institute.
So the Tigers coming off a timeout, they just called one, and then the Bison say they're going to need one of their own. So we've seen consecutive timeouts without the ball being snapped. Still 63 seconds remaining in the first half. 21-0 the Tiger lead. Now we do see the Bison in punt formation, and Lonergan will go back to return this one.
Renew aesthetic surgery.
So as I was saying, the Tigers do just have one kick return this season. It was Alex Swarens. He's played less than a half of football all year. Now would be certainly a timely moment for Lonergan to pick up his first. Just over a minute to play. Oh, and a blocked punt. That's the first time the Tigers have had one this season. But they touch it. It's now being kicked around. Still no signal on who's got it. I'm not sure. The Tigers blocked it.
It looked like the football started spinning viciously for the Shawnee Mission North Bison.
So I'm confused here.
They're waiting for a signal.
The signal looked to be the Bison's way, but on a blocked punt, if the punt is blocked and the Bison recover it, it's still not a first down. But the Bison recovered it there after the block, and they give it to the Bison. So maybe the ref's chatting about the rules here. I'm not even sure of what the rules are, but I know on a blocked field goal, even if the kicking team goes out to touch it, it's still the opposing team's ball. They blocked the punt here, and then the Bison recovered the block punt, and then they gave it back to the Bison. So block punt actually somehow turns out to be a first down for Shawnee Mission North. 51 seconds to go. Some confusion here. Terrell confused. He's out on the 45-yard line right now. He wants to get the official ruling from the referee himself.
Definitely an interesting situation here, advancing the ball on a blocked punt. You would think that there'd be some kind of rule prohibiting that. Like you said, the field goal.
I'm sure there is, and I'm sure that's what Terrell's arguing right now, that we blocked the punt, and then they recovered the block punt and got a first down out of it.
Take over first down 10.
So they pick up a first down. Most unconventional first down we've seen all season for sure. The Tigers get their first block punt, and it turns out into an opponent first down. Now Needham fumbles the snap, and he's swarmed in the backfield.
Jacob Needham ball carried.
Some odd ball control in this first half. We've seen 2 fumbles, a block punt that's turned into a first down just there. So the ball was spotted at midfield. Now it's 2nd and 13. Bison are trying to hurry up, under 30 seconds to go. Here's a pitch outside. He's got some room to run. Andrew there with a big hit and swings him down, but into Tiger territory across the 40. Still time winding down, 24 seconds to go.
It looks like Lincoln Stuvey down on the play.
Seems to be getting up, and that's a good sign. He'll go to the sideline. Lower body injury for sure as he limps off. Something with maybe an ankle. Like I've said, the injury bug for the Tigers this season. We haven't seen many of the Tigers' opponents go down with any injuries at quite the rate that we've seen Tigers drop so far this year. A stroke of unfortune there for the Tigers as Stuvey goes out. This one's going to be handed off. Pickup of about 5 there. 13 seconds to go and the clock still winding. Jeremiah Looney there couldn't pick it up. They'll probably get one more snap off. 5 seconds left to play. It's a spike, so they'll have one play. 5 seconds to go. Maybe just a shot at the end zone here. Maybe even more comfortable trying to hand this one off and go for one of those pitch plays to end the half. 21-0 the lead for the Tigers. 5 seconds left to go in this first half. Bison have it at the Blue Valley 35-yard line, and they'll have one last shot at it.
I'd say it's likely going to be some kind of pitch play. Needham hasn't had any sort of time in the backfield to get some long routes down the field, so you'd be assuming that it'd be some kind of dump to the flat.
Needham does begin in the shotgun. Third time we've seen it all night. He'll look to throw. Fires. This one is heading for the end zone. Double coverage, and it looked like it's intercepted there. See, there's a battle for the ball, and it will be picked off. So that's how the half comes to an end. The Tigers end the first 24 minutes of play with a 21-0 lead. Blue Valley with a great start here to their postseason. The Bison will go to the locker room. They're going to need to make some adjustments. Tigers 21, Bison nothing. So both sides take the field. We're set to go for this second half of action. Tigers through the first 24 minutes lead it 21-0. John Price rushed for 2 touchdowns. Dalkey caught his second touchdown in as many weeks. Tigers receive the opening kickoff here of the half. Back deep to return it is Anthony Lonergan. Blue Valley 21, Shawnee Mission North nothing after one half of play, and we are ready to go here in the second half as this kick is out of bounds and the Tigers will get some good field position. I believe they'll begin this drive from the 30. So Blue Valley scored on 3 of their first 4 drives of the game. We'll now see drive number 1 of this second half and see if the Tigers can keep up their offensive dominance, led by John Price and a couple of big plays in that passing game. We'll see if the Tigers can do it again here. Westfall, the wide receiver on the lone wide receiver on the near side of your screen. On the far side, Thomas Harold and Ben Dalkey. John Price lines up behind Trevor Brush. Gatlin Samuel, the tight end, as well on the near side. 1st and 10 Tigers to begin the half from the 35. Brush puts Dalkey in motion. Brush will look to throw here. Fires deep down the field. Westfall's open, but it's underthrown and intercepted. And on the first play of the half, maybe the spark they needed. Jose Navarez picking off Trevor Brush there. 13th interception on the year for Trevor Brush. A huge interception there for Shawnee Mission North, and now with 11:53 to go, only 7 seconds into the second half, the Bison are going to have it in good field position. So Brush now in the season, 10 touchdowns, 13 interceptions. 11:53 to go, great field position, only 1 play. The Bison will have it now, in a sense, to begin the half.
It looked like Westfall would have been heading to the house.
Underthrown ball there. Westfall was open. Trey Dyer will get the handoff there, and it's good for a first down out to midfield. So Dyer begins the half. We saw a dose of Dyer and Blake in the first half. Dyer will get the start here in half number 2. 11:45 to go. Dyer remains in the game. Quan Blake on the sideline. 2 wide receivers out on the field. They put a man in motion. That's Looney. They'll hand it off. Dyer again for a first down. 2 carries of a combined 21 yards now here to begin this second half. 11:21 to go now. And it's been all Bison here so far in this half. An interception on the first play, and then now back-to-back carries of 10 or more. Trey Dyer remains in the game. 1st and 10 from the Tiger 39. They give it to Dyer up the middle, and this time the Tigers will be able to hold him before he can pick up that first down. Pickup of 2 there brings up 2nd down and 8 now, and here comes Quan Blake in for Trey Dyer. After 3 consecutive carries, Dyer comes out.
2 yards on the play. Brings up 2nd down and 8, Bison.
Blake back in. In the first half, Blake was certainly the better running back. He had a majority of their bursts, but we saw back-to-back bursts there from Dyer to begin the half. Bison are into Blue Valley territory here. They've got 2nd down and 8 now. Blake in the backfield. They'll hand it off. Blake up the middle looking for room. Nowhere to go. Out to the 35-yard line. Pickup of 2 there again. 3rd down and 6 now. 10:25 to go, third quarter. 3rd down and 6 here for the Bison. They've got 1 wide receiver out there. That's Jordan White on the far side of your screen. Blake in the backfield. 3rd and 6. And it's another motion with nowhere to go there for Jeremiah Looney. Motions then back to his original spot. We've seen it so many times tonight. It's an odd offense. Now Looney motions for real. They hand it off to Blake, and he won't have enough for the first down. He's 2 yards shy. He needed to get to the Tiger 29. He stopped at the Blue Valley 31. It'll be 4th down again and 2. They had a 4th down in Tiger territory in the last half. They let their wide receiver, Jeremiah Looney, throw one up into the end zone. It went incomplete. Now a 4th down and 2 from Tiger territory. We'll see what they do here. Blake is in the backfield. They only need 2 yards. They put Josiah Long in motion. Now he goes back to the original spot. Long now comes in motion for real. Blake up the middle, needed 2 yards. Looks like he got it. He needed the 29. That's right where he's being spotted.
Down play by Zach Pombo.
Still no signal. And now they say it's a first down. So there's the first signal. It came late. They needed the 29. He spotted right at the 29. Good enough for a first down, and he'll move the chains. 9 minutes left to play now here in this third quarter. Big first down there for the Bison. They keep their drive rolling. Blake again in the backfield. This time they'll go with 2 wide receivers. Josiah Long faked the motion there again. Beginning to think that that's by design now. Here comes Long in motion. They pitch it to him. Third time we've seen this tonight. Long in the backfield is swarmed and driven down. A loss of 2 there. And a big tackle for loss there. That one was Preston Scott that got there. Huge tackle with 8:30 to go now, and it's going to bring up a second down and 12.
Brings up second down 13 for the Bison at the Tigers' 32-yard line.
Big second down here from the 32 now. Again, Jordan White, the lone wide receiver, coming to the near side. Wide receivers typically don't even join in the huddle. White there wasn't a part of it either. Maybe he's just certain he's blocking on each play. Here's a handoff. It's going to be Dyer back in the game, and Dyer with another big carry. So Blake in the first half was certainly the better back, and now Dyer's had 4 carries this half, and 3 of them have been solid bursts, and that sets them up now in a solid third down and manageable 3rd and 4. Dyer remains in the game.
From the 23-yard line.
They need to get to the 19 here on 3rd down.
It's 3rd.
1 wide receiver again. It's White on the near side. Dyer is lined up behind Needham. They put Long in motion. They'll fake it. Needham's got it. Now he pitches inside the 20. He's got a first down. Big first down carry there. That's Liam Dolly.
Brought down the play by Braden and Jewell.
So the Bison able to move the chains there.
Brings up first down.
7:20 to go now here remaining in this third quarter. From the Tiger 15, they needed to get to the 19. They got down to the 15, good for a first down. Bison still scoreless tonight now into the third quarter. 7:10 to go, 21-0 Tigers. Dyer remains in the game. Lines up behind Needham. Put a man in motion. Now they give it to Dyer up the middle. Dyer was looking for an edge there. Gets all the way down to the 10-yard line. A gain of 5 will bring up now second down and 5 here. Under 7 minutes remaining here in the third quarter. So the Bison trying to take advantage of the turnover. The Tigers were able to get 2 turnovers on their first 2 drives of the game. They recovered 2 Bison fumbles, and they turned that into 14 points. Now the Bison, off of their first turnover, are into the Tiger red zone with a chance at their first score of the game. Blake sub back in the game. Dyer is off the field. Long comes in motion. They give it to Blake up the middle, and a great job by the Tigers front there. The ball came out late. There's whistles down. Alec Wombolt running that one all the way down to the field, but it's going to be blown dead and almost the 3rd fumble of the game. Instead, the refs say he's down by contact, no gain on the play. Big break there for the Bisons. Clock's still ticking under 6 minutes now. Play clock down to 15. 3rd down and 5. So the Tigers defense thought they had a turnover, and Wombolt thought he might have had himself his first touchdown of the season. Instead, it's 3rd and 5. Blake remains into the game. They need to get to the 6-yard line here. Long comes in motion. They hand it off to Blake, and he'll be stopped short of the first down marker. Maybe right at it there. They're marking him at the 6. They'll say it's 4th down and a yard. So they needed to get down to the 5. It's 4th and 1. Looking for their first score of the game still. Just outside the Tiger 5-yard line. It's a huge 4th down now. Tigers up 21-0. A score here would be not only the Bison first of the game, but it would be after their first stop of that Tiger offense. Blake in the backfield. Can they answer after the interception? Blake went nowhere there on the 4th down carry. Ref still no signal. Now they're marking him out at the 5-yard line. Tigers defense remains on the field. There is an injured Bison down. And it seems they're going to move the chains here, and they're going to give him a first down. Blake had enough for it there. It looked like he was maybe shy. They spot him now inside the 5-yard line. It'll be a first down, it appears.
Gain of 1 yard on the play.
It is a first down. Tigers defense remains on the field. So 4:58 to go. It's the quarterback that's injured. Going to the sideline is Jacob Needham. So Needham he never actually attempted a pass. He dropped back to pass twice and was sacked on both of those. So I'm not sure if the injured quarterback is going to affect them all that much. Sprinting to the sideline there was Josiah Long, trying to avoid a legal formation there. Don't want to have 12 men. The backup quarterback, not quite sure who it is yet. Not sure it quite matters. They hand it off here on 1st and goal. Blake is into the end zone. Quan Blake. First Bison touchdown of the game comes with 4:36 to go in this third quarter. And they answer the Trevor Brush interception set up by Josiah Navarez. So what was once a 3-score game is now turned into a 2-score game here in the late stages of the third. And the point after can make it a 14-point game at 21-7. Oddly enough, the Bison's first touchdown of the game comes without starting quarterback Jacob Needham on the field. He came off the play prior with an injury. Quan Blake punches that one into the end zone from 5 yards out, and it's 21-7 with 4:36 to go here in the third quarter.
Blue Valley Tigers 21, Shawnee Mission North 7.
Certainly that's going to be huge for the morale of Shawnee Mission North, not getting held scoreless here against Blue Valley away from home. And they're going to hope to get some more offense going if they get the ball back from the Tigers.
So the Tigers scored on their first 3 drives. They've now been stopped on their last 2. So we'll see what they do countering the interception from Trevor Brush. He's got 10 touchdown passes on the year, 13 interceptions in the 8 games of regular season play. Trevor threw for 1,495 yards, completing 119 of his 229 passes. Brush now in a big spot. Late sub there for the Tigers. Preston Scott came in for John Price there on the kick return team. 4:36 to go. The kick is away. The Tigers will get it for the second time this half. That one's heading out of bounds again, and back-to-back kicks have gone out of bounds, maybe by design there from the Bison, trying to stay away from the Tigers returners, only yielding the football to the 35 for Blue Valley. So the Tigers have only run 1 snap this half, despite there being 4:36 left in this third quarter. Blue Valley will get their second possession of the half. We'll see how they counter the Bison's first score of the game. 21-7 the score. Blue Valley still leading by 14. Tigers got out to a 21-0 first half lead here in the opening round of the postseason. They had all the momentum. Tigers have stalled on their first 2 drives since then. Kind of a stagger in both of these teams' offenses. That was the first score since early in the second quarter. Brush will hand this one off to Price. He's got 2 touchdowns already tonight. Price has got room on the far side, and he spun down after a pickup of 9 yards there. Maybe they'll give him enough for the first down. They'll say just a yard shy.
Looks like there is a flag on the play.
So they'll get the Tigers with holding, and what would have been a 9-yard gain is now going to come all the way back. So it'll still be first down for Blue Valley. It's a question of how long it will be. See where they move them back to now.
Following the penalty, Tigers take over first.
So it's only a 1-yard penalty there for the Tigers. It turns into first down and 11. Brush again in the pistol. There's a jump, and it's going to be a penalty for encroachment there, and the Tigers will get that yard right back and some. It'll turn into a 1st and 6 now. 4:28 still to go in this third quarter.
And Shawnee Mission North Bison just not being able to avoid the mistakes here. That's probably the 3rd time that they've jumped offside this game alone.
Brush getting that hard count to work. Now he flips to Price on the outside. Price is looking for an edge near side, and he's hit hard there.
John Price, the ball carrier.
Price maybe back to the line of scrimmage. They'll say no gain on the play. 2nd down and 6 here for Blue Valley. Under 4:10 to go now in this third quarter. 21-7 Tigers.
No gain on the play. 2nd down 6 from the Tigers' 39-yard line.
Tigers look to the sideline. Dalkey and Samuel lined up back-to-back here in the slot. Now they switch places as it's Harold on the far side. Here's a handoff to Price on 2nd and 6. Price puts his shoulder down. He won't have enough for the first down, and it'll be 3rd down and 3.
Brought down play by Jordan Moore. Gain 3 yards on the play.
3.5 minutes now left to play in this opening quarter of the second half. Tigers 21, Bison 7. Blue Valley looking to find the end zone for their first time since the 10-minute mark of the second quarter. Brush looking to the sideline now for his play on 3rd down and 3. Harold and Dalkey, the wide receivers on the near side of your screen. Brush, quick throw, looking for Harold. It's completed out to the 45. It was right at that first down marker. They'll say he has enough. Official spot is the 46, and it's a big 3rd down pickup there for the Tigers. They opt to throw for it. It'll take the clock under 3 minutes to go left in this third quarter. Blue Valley moves the chains and is now nearing midfield at the 46. Another pistol set here for the Tigers. Now Harold is alone on the near side. Samuel, Dalkey, and Westphalt on that far side. Brush will hand this one off up the middle to Price. Price has got some room, cuts it back now near side, inside the 40, 35, a foot race down the sideline, finally pushed out of bounds. Just short of the 20 there, another big run from John Price. We've seen it so many times already tonight. That one was just a handoff up the middle. Price cut it back towards the near sideline, and it's a huge gain there for the Tigers, and they'll be just outside the Bison red zone at the 21 with 2:44 to go.
And once John Price is able to get into that secondary, it seems like nobody is really able to tackle him. Shawnee Mission North is going to be so important for them to get to him at the defensive line instead of in that secondary.
Price isn't a big guy, but he's not afraid to put the shoulder down, and he's so elusive in the secondary. Brush has got Dalkey open inside the 10-5. 2 touchdowns on the game for Ben Dalkey. Man, is he hot. Dalkey didn't score through the first 7 games of the season, and even the first almost 8 games. It was all the way down to the final minute of the final game. 39 seconds to go, and the final game of the regular season is when Dalkey picked up his first touchdown. Now he's got 3 on the year and 2 tonight.
And with these injuries to these big targets, Dalkey and Harold and Westphal have been getting so much more involved in this offense recently.
21-yard touchdown reception there for Ben Dalkey. He's now got 2 on the game. So John Price has got 2 touchdowns. He scored the first 2 of the game. Now Dalkey has scored the last 2 of the game, giving the Tigers a 28-7 lead, and they answer the Bison touchdown. And now with 2:37 to go here in the third quarter, Blue Valley has re-extended their lead out to 21 points and a 3-score Tiger lead. Big drive there for Blue Valley, led down the field by Price, and then a 21-yard touchdown from Dalkey to punch it in. And Dalkey is certainly hot in these last 2 weeks of the season.
Midway Auto Parts, Fajita Peas, Jose Peppers, and Cactus Grill.
3 touchdowns and his last 3 quarters of football for Ben Dalkey.
Tiger football sponsor.
Tigers set to kick it off here again. Blue Valley kicking off for the first time this second half. McGuire Richmond in kick formation. All of his kicks so far tonight have been taken for touchbacks. We'll see if he can get another here. Blue Valley's offense has scored on 4 of 6 drives tonight. Richmond's kick this time will be fielded short at the 10-yard line. Taken out now, looking for a hole on the far side across the 30, and it is the kicker, Richmond, pushing him out of bounds there. A nice return. First time the Tigers don't yield a touchback. Give up some good field position there. 2:31 to go. The Bison offense will now be trying to build on their first scoring drive of the night. They'll get it back here in the third quarter. 2.5 minutes to play. Their drive will begin from the 35. Same spot the Tigers began their first 2 drives of the half will now be where the Bison begin this one. So Trey Dyer back in the game right after the Quan Blake rushing touchdown. They've got 2 wide receivers on the field. Needham is back in the game after leaving for injury last time. Dyer went up in the air there after being swung to the ground. Big hit there from the Tigers. Pickup of 3 there on first down brings up second down and
Gain of
7.
3 yards on the play. Brings up second down 7 for the Bison, 38-yard line.
Nearing the 2-minute mark of this third quarter, so we've seen 9 minutes of football. Both teams have scored so far in this half. Tigers hold on now to a 21-point lead. Now under 2 minutes to go. Needham under center again. Trey Dyer in the backfield. Dyer gets the handoff. No, they'll fake it to him. Now it's Needham himself. He'll only pick up a yard there, and it's going to bring up third down and 6. So on third down, they're at the 39-yard line. The line to gain is the 45, and it's a big third down here, trying to counter a Tiger touchdown.
Gain of 1 yard on the play.
First drive since the Bison's first scoring drive of the night. We'll see how they try and build on it here. So far we've seen some timid offense. They now sub Blake back into the game. So Quan Blake on third down and 6. We'll see if they go to him. They'll pitch it near side now across the 40, and he won't have enough. Just a gain of a yard there again.
Brought down the play by
So it'll be fourth down and 5. No, 4th and 4 from the Tiger 41-yard line. They needed to get
2 yards on the
it
play.
to the
Brings up
45.
4th down and 4 Bison at their own
This is going to be a
41-yard
huge
line.
play for the Bison here.
They're
If
gonna
they're
go
going to want
for
to
it.
stay in this game. They're obviously going to go for it down this late in this game.
Not only down in the game, but their season could be coming to an end. 45 seconds left in the third quarter, and then they'll be down to their last 12 minutes of football. They trail by 21 right here. 4th and 4. They're trying to hurry it to the line. Needham under center. Blake in the backfield. They need 4 yards here. They get the snap off. There's whistles down. Timeout called there. Not sure they charged it to the. So they charge it to the Bison. They take their first time out of the
The
game.
University of Kansas Health System treats any sports injury to any
30
member of your
seconds to go
family.
exactly
Whether it's your
left
back,
on that third
knee,
quarter
hip,
clock. Tigers
shoulder,
lead by
or
21.
concussion.
Desperation
See the
time
same
coming for the
experts
Bison.
here
Their
for the Chiefs
season
and the
could be
Royals.
coming to an end, possibly down to the last 12 and a half minutes of football in this 2022-23 season for the Shawnee Mission North Bison. They trail by 21. It's going to take a miracle sort of comeback here if they want to get themselves back into it, but it starts right here on 4th down and 4. They've got to pick this one up, and they can't let the Tigers get back into the end zone. They're coming off their first scoring drive of the night, so maybe trying to build some momentum here, and if they pick this up, they're going to really need to start getting momentum rolling in their favor if they want to get back into the game. Half a minute in the quarter. They just used their first timeout of the half. So they'll have 2 remaining, trying to mount a 3-score comeback here. 28-7 the score. Quan Blake in the backfield. They go with a different set than they showed prior to the timeout. Needham now looks to the sideline, trying to relay the play. Huge 4th and 4 at their own 41-yard line. They'll hand it off to Blake. He needs 4 yards. Blake got it. He's got enough there out across the 45-yard line. Risky call there, 4th and 4. They hand it off. It's what they've done all night is put that ball on the ground. And now they could let it run all the way down to the end of the third quarter, but if
Gain of 5 yards on the play.
you're Shawnee Mission North here, you want to get as many plays as you can in before that clock comes to a stop. It's under 15 seconds now to go here in the third quarter. A fresh set of downs from the 46. Handoff here, Blake up the middle, across midfield. Gain of 7 yards there on first down, maybe just 6. So the third quarter will come to an end, 28-7 Blue Valley. After 36 minutes of football, we've got 12 left on the year. Blue Valley leads it by 21 heading into the final quarter. It'll take a miracle comeback here for the Bison.
Your attention, please. Chick-fil-A sandwiches are now
Bison staring down
$3
their
in the
final
concession stand.
quarter of football unless they can pull off something miraculous here.
Chick-fil-A sandwiches.
They'll have
Get 'em
second
while they
down
left.
and 4 yards here from Tiger territory, looking to score on their second consecutive drive. Quan Blake with the only touchdown of the night so far for the Bison. Tigers defense ready to take the field here, 2nd and 4. Bison now down to the Blue Valley 48-yard line. Winner of this game will move on to next week. They'll face the 2 seed in the tournament. Bison are the 10 seed, Tigers are the 7. Blue Valley again at 4-4, the Bison at 2-6. 2nd and 4 here. We see subbed back into the game Trey Dyer on 2nd down. They fake it to him, looking to throw. Needham's first pass attempt of the game it's intercepted. Anthony Lonergan was straight down the middle of the field. Lonergan's got room to run now, chased from behind and brought down at the 40-yard line. So that's the Tigers' 2nd interception of the game. They forced 2 fumbles and now 2 interceptions. One of them came with triple zeros on the halftime clock. Not really a big interception for the Tigers. That one is, though, almost puts the game away. 11:47 to go. Tigers lead by 3 scores, and they'll get it right back. So 11:47 to play. We'll see what the Tigers do here. You'd expect a heavy dose of the run. They've got it at the 40-yard line here with Price in the backfield. They put Dalkey in motion, and they hand it off to Price on 1st down. Price looking for room up the middle. Price somehow evades tackles and has got a 1st down. John Price is so elusive. One of the better players in this league. Price gets up. He spent some time on the ground there. He walks back into the huddle. He does seem fine. And now maybe even a decision for the Tigers to start resting some of these starters. They have battled injuries all year. Price has missed a number of games. Andre Davis has missed a number of games. And we saw a couple of big defenders for the Tigers go down in that first half. And now up by 21 with less than a quarter of football left to play and the football here. Maybe the Tigers try and keep Price healthy going into the 2nd week of the postseason against what will be a good opponent next week. Expecting the Tigers hold on.
First out of bounds by Yale Moore. A loss of 4 yards on the play.
11:12 to go. It's 2nd and 14 now here for Blue Valley. Blue Valley backed up to their 47-yard line now. Another pistol set. Price remains in the game. Tigers still with all of their starters out there. Seems they're going to keep the foot on the pedal here. Westphal, the lone wide receiver near side. Now Price moves up in front of Brush. Looks like Brush is going to throw. Quick pass. Caught by Westphal. Westphal is out to the 45-yard line before being knocked out of bounds.
Brush's pass is complete to Grady Westphal.
Solid pick up there. It'll get the Tigers to the 45 and bring up 3rd down and 5. And maybe a reason the Bison are struggling is just quite possibly fatigue. They've got so many players playing both sides of the ball. Liam Dolly, Jeremiah Looney playing both sides of the ball. Many other receivers on that roster. Josiah Long as well. He plays safety and wide receiver. So they've just got players running both sides of the ball, not really getting many breathers or chances for a break. Now 3rd down and 7. They put Dalkey in motion. Brush will look to throw for it. Steps up, fires, and this one's going to be completed. Good for a 1st down. That's Grady again. Westphal's had himself a great game, and he's been a great replacement so far for Andre Davis this season. Again, just a sophomore, but he's been the Tigers' 2nd leading receiver. Passing yards have been extremely high for Westphal. He hasn't caught many passes, but when he does, they typically go for big numbers. On the season, Westphal caught 17 passes, but was able to tally 733 yards of offense. 373 yards of offense. Andre Davis on 29 catches had 537. He was their leading receiver. Westphal was 2nd. They hand this one off to Price on 1st down. Price just in front of the line of scrimmage. He'll have a yard there. Brings up 2nd down and now 9. So there's an injured Bison down now. That's Diego Juarez. 2nd and 9. He's down in the backfield. Well, the Tiger backfield there, laying on the 40-yard line, and so there will be an injury timeout with 10:17 to go in this final quarter. Tigers aren't really trying to drain as much of this clock as possible. They're just running a normal offensive attack here, up by 21 points in this final quarter. Blue Valley has still used the sidelines, and they haven't quite just been trying to run this clock out. 10:17 to go and a 21-point lead.
Coronado Binding Company, Jamie Howell, Realtor, Keller Williams, Pinnacle Lawn Care, Rodriguez Construction and Underground Incorporated, Raising Cane.
So Juarez is still down there on the ground, maybe dealing with something serious. Certainly not what you want to see there.
Jersey Boys Southern Deli, Johnny Rollins Driving School.
Juarez now looking to get up onto his feet. He sits up at least.
And Hub International. Thank you again to our cheerleading
Long
sponsors.
stoppage here. It'll be 2nd down and 9 when we come back. Juarez now onto his feet, and he'll be helped to the sideline. Limps over there. So the Tigers offense ready to return back onto the field now after the injury there. Bison defense going to show some love to their injured defender as they get ready to take the field again. 2nd and 9, just over 10 minutes to play here, likely left in this Bison season. You'd expect the Tigers to hold on to a 21-point lead and maybe even try and add on here. Blue Valley's got it right now at the 34-yard line, 2nd and 9. Price remains in the game and in the backfield. Tigers without Andre Davis tonight. He's expected to play next week. Certainly want to keep everyone healthy at the end of this game. Brush, quick throw deep into the end zone. He's got Westfall. It's caught for a touchdown. 2 flags down on the end of the play. They're blowing it dead already. Westfall had a touchdown, and we saw that same route earlier in the game on the interception. Westfall was wide open. He had a couple of steps on the defender, but the pass was underthrown. So it's a penalty on the Tigers. They're going to wipe off what would have been a 34-yard touchdown to Grady Westfall. He has not found the end zone this season. That would have been his first. Despite him not finding the end zone, he's certainly been great for Blue Valley. Just a sophomore, and you wonder what's to come for Grady Westfall. You'd only expect good things from that young star in this Tiger offense. So they wipe the touchdown off, and it's going to be now 2nd down and 14 after the penalty there on the Tigers' offensive line. 10:01 to go left in this 4th quarter. Tigers certainly keeping their foot on the gas after we saw that 34-yard attempt there on the touchdown waved off. Price remains in the backfield. They put Westfall in motion here. Brush fakes the handoff, now looking to throw again. He's got Westfall again. Westfall's open inside the 25. Now to the 15, and he stayed in bounds, tight-roping that far sideline. They officially sparred him down at the 11-yard line, 9:51 to go. So Westfall couldn't have the touchdown. He's still going to get a big chunk there on the next play, able to move the chains on 2nd and 14, and the Tigers will have 1st and 10 from the 12-yard line of the Bison. Chance for their 5th touchdown of the night. Tigers right now have 2 players with multiple touchdowns. Dalkey has 2, and John Price has 2 as well. Harold and Westfall are the 2 wide receivers on the field that have not scored a touchdown this season. Westfall just had one waved off. He's got his hands on his head right now. Obviously, he knows that would have been his first touchdown of the year. Penalty on the backside of the play wiped out what would have been a spectacular play for the Tigers. Timeout called there. It was the 2nd timeout. It was the 2nd timeout by the Bison. Tigers will have 1st down and 10 from the 12. So Bison taking some time to talk about what they're going to do defensively here. Down 21. You can't let the Tigers get into the end zone, but it seems almost certain that Blue Valley is going to score here. They are rolling tonight. They've only been kept out on 2 possessions so far. Looking for their 5th touchdown of the night. We'll see who gets it. Westfall just had one waved off. We'll see if they try and get him his first of the year. Harold is also among receivers who hasn't had one yet. Brush, sprint out towards his right side. Now fires, and Westfall will get his first of the year. sophomore Grady Westfall. It was called off. He had a 34-yard touchdown, waved off by a penalty on the backside of the play, and he finds his way into the end zone anyway. Back-to-back passes go to Westfall after the penalty. He'll get all of those 34 yards and the touchdown. Touchdown number 5 on the game puts the Tigers up 34-7. Westfall gets his first, and Blue Valley, with 9:45 to go, now leads by 28.
And Blue Valley almost certainly next week going to be heading to the CBAC to play Olathe West. They are currently 6-2 and the number 2 seed, so definitely going to be a huge test for the Tigers to see if they can pull one out away from home. But this has been a true statement win here at home tonight.
Olathe West defeated Shawnee Mission South on Thursday by a final score of 55-35, so certainly a potent offense putting up 55 points. But Shawnee Mission South, this is the bright side for the Tigers. Shawnee Mission South, the 15 seed, 1-7, still was able to put up 35 points against the 2 seed Olathe West. So what the Tigers have done tonight, they've scored 35 points and they've only been held out of the end zone on 2 drives. So Blue Valley knows that they can score. Olathe West obviously knows that they can score as well, scoring 55 points last week. Tigers defense only allowed 7 points against what would be considered a better opponent than Shawnee Mission South. At 1-7, put up 35. So we'll see likely an offensive slugfest next week. But despite the Tigers being the 7 seed and Olathe West being that 2 seed, when Blue Valley's healthy, they play a lot better than a 4-4 football team. So we'll see what the Tigers can do next week. It'll be 2 high-powered offenses heading to the CDAC to play the second round of the high school football playoff. Should be a great game as this one's returned out. He runs into his own man there, able to get out to the 21-yard line. 9:39 to go. Tigers now their biggest lead of the night at 28 points. It's 35-7. So now we'll see how the Bison finish their season. Most of those players certainly going to have to come to reality that it's likely over, likely down to their final 9 minutes and 39 seconds on the year. See how they finish this one out. Handoff there on first down. Looked like that was Trey Dyer. He's got a yard there on first down. It'll bring up 2nd and 9.
Gain 1 yard on the play. Brings up 2nd and 9. Bison at their own 22-yard line.
Ball out to the 22-yard line now. Bison facing a 28-point deficit. Let's see if maybe they try and throw the football. Maybe just yielding defeat here, but you'd think you'd have a sense of urgency with your back against the wall. They still won't throw it. They give it to Dyer there. He's looking for a burst. He's got a solid pickup there, but it'll be 3rd down and maybe 3 yards now.
And honestly, it seems like running the ball is really the only way that they can get the ball out of danger's way. Every time it drops back into the backfield, it seems like it's going to be a liability for the Bison, especially with this offensive line and this defensive front from Blue Valley getting so much pressure throughout the game.
4 turnovers on the game for the Bison. Tigers have 21 points off the turnover. They scored on the first 2 turnovers of the game, which were fumbles on both of the opening drives for the Bison, and then an interception obviously by Anthony Lonergan there that led to that touchdown. And then the only time they weren't able to score off of a turnover was the interception in the back of the end zone as the half came to a close. They simply just didn't have time to mount another scoring drive. 4 turnovers for the Bison. Certainly not a winning recipe. With under 8 minutes to go, they face a 28-point deficit, and now they face a 3rd and 4. They'll have to get it to the 31-yard line. They have it now at the 28. Needham hands that one off. Now it's going to be a backside reverse, and he is swarmed in the backfield. 3-yard loss there. That was 4th down, so the Tigers offense back out onto the field. A big 4th down stop there for the Tigers. Just no sense of urgency there, no fight from the Bison. That was a 4th down, and if their season didn't end on the Tiger touchdown, it certainly did on that play. With their season on the line, they showed almost no sense of urgency, no fight. Gave up there on an end around on 4th down, and the Tigers will now take over deep inside Bison territory, already leading by 28. See if they try and extend upon that lead. There's 7:37 to go, so there's still plenty of time. The Tigers can't quite end the game here.
It looks
Max
like,
Rudman now in.
Cade Heaney subbed in for wide receiver on the field, Ben Dalkey.
So they are going to try and rest some of their players, keep as many healthy as they can. The injury bug has bit the Tigers this season, and they're just going to make sure that that will not be a problem heading into the finish of this one. Rudman gets the carry on 1st down. Rudman has an opening down the left sideline and bounced out of bounds inside the 10. Rudman's certainly not a stranger to the field. This year, Rudman's had 87 rushing attempts for 232 yards. He's been a serviceable backup to John Price. Price has missed a lot of games with injury so far this season. Rudman even with 1 rushing touchdown already on the year. Tigers will have 1st and goal from the 6. Rudman remains in the game. We'll see if he'll look to get his 2nd. Remaining on the field, Thomas Harold. He's yet to score a touchdown this season. We'll see if the Tigers look his way. Harold a starter in all these games. He's one of the only starters that hadn't found the end zone. Grady Westphal was accompanying him, as well as Ben Dalkey entering last game. Dalkey's got 2 tonight. He had 1 last week. Westphal just got his 1st tonight on the Tigers' last drive. So now it's Thomas Harold, the only Tiger that's played in a majority of these games that hasn't found the end zone yet. Rudman has even found it. He's played a majority of snaps when John Price has been out.
At the 4-yard line.
Whistles out on the field now. Tigers heading back out. Cade Heaney is in to replace Ben Dalkey, but Westphal and Harold remain on the field. See if they look Harold's way, maybe even Heaney's way. Heaney with no catches yet on the season. If his 1st is a touchdown, that would certainly be a big moment for Heaney in his senior season. 2nd and goal from the 6. Brush puts Heaney in motion. They fake it to him. Now they hand it off to Rudman up the middle. Rudman gets close, but he won't be into the end zone. Marked down at the 4-yard line. It'll be 3rd and goal from there.
Brought down the play by DeAndre Wilson.
6:40 still remaining in regulation.
Brings up 3rd
Tigers trying to burn as much of this clock as they can.
3-yard line.
See what they do here on 3rd down. Are they going to try and get one of these 2 Tigers on the field without a touchdown there first, or will they just give it to Rudman and try and make sure this clock continues to tick? Another pistol set here. Heaney lines up in the slot. Harold, the lone wide receiver, left side. They hand it off to Rudman. Up the middle, he won't get there, and it's going to be 4th down.
Max Rudman, ball carrier.
Rush remains on the field.
Tackle play by Elijah.
4th down, 5:50 to go. Tigers are going to go for it on 4th down and goal.
Tigers and the Bison. 3-yard line.
Plenty of time left on the play clock. Now it's winding down under 10 seconds. See how much more of this clock the Tigers will choose to burn. 5:29 to go, down to 4 seconds on the play clock. The Tigers aren't set yet, down to 2. And Blue Valley will use their first timeout with 5:25 to go, trying to milk as much of that clock as possible. 5 minutes left now in the season, likely for the Bison. They trail by 28, and the Tigers are even threatening to score again. They've got 4th and goal from the 4-yard line. 2 Tigers on the field right now. Haven't found the end zone. Certain that they're hoping that their number will be called in that huddle right now. 4th down, we'll see what Terrell goes with. Long time out here for the Tigers. Both teams still in their huddle. Refs as well in a huddle, having a chat there on the field.
The Bank of America card is left at the concession stand.
Tigers looking to pick up their 2nd consecutive win. That would match their highest win streak of the season. They began the year 2-0 before dropping 2 consecutive games, then Tigers battled back to finish 500, right where they began. 4-4. Here's a pitch on 4th down to Rudman, looking for his 2nd touchdown of the year, and he's going to be short of the end zone. They'll mark him down at the 1.
Max Rudman, ball carrier.
So Rudman can't quite get in, and with 5:18 to go, the Bison will get it backed up all the way at their own 1-yard line.
Bison take over 1st down and 10.
35-7 Tigers, 5:18 to go. Bison offense will head back out onto the field. So from his own end zone, Needham is under center. He'll give this one to Dyer. Dyer able to work it out of the end zone.
Right out of the ball carrier.
Solid pickup there. He's out to the 8-yard line, maybe the 9. Bringing 2nd down and 2, it
And 8 yards
appears.
in play. Brings up 2nd down, 2 Bison.
Good job there by
9
Dyer to
yards.
get his offense some breathing room there. They were backed up to the 1. A 7-yard pickup there makes it 2nd and 2. Under 5 minutes left to play now. Dyer remains in the backfield. Handoff on 2nd down, and this one will be right at the 1st down marker. They needed to get to the 11. That's right where it's marked right now, and the refs will move the chains. So with every 1st down, the clock stops. So it remains stopped right now at 4:42 to go. 35-7 the score. Now the clock winding again, and it's just a matter of time before the Tigers advance to the 2nd round of the postseason. Tigers are 4 minutes away from their 2nd consecutive win. Flag is down there, and that will just hold the Tigers back a little bit longer. Offsides and the clock will stop, so 4:25.
Defense, 5-yard penalty, remains 1st down.
Again, if you left a Bank of America card at the concession stand on the home side, it's now with the officer at the north end of the stadium, northeast end.
Needham hands this one off. That looks like Blake this time, and Blake bursts it into the secondary. He's got a 1st down. Good enough to move the chains there. And the clock will stop again, but it will roll under 4 minutes once this ball gets spotted.
Brought down play by Will Stroud.
Punter Will Stroud there with the tackle, getting some time in the game here with the Tigers' big lead. 28 points where it stands right now. Here's a handoff again to Blake. Got to pick up a 4 there on 1st down, brings up 2nd and 6. Tigers now with some substitutions. Henry Duckworth heads onto the field for Blue Valley. He's joined as well by Cooper Veep. A lot of these senior Tigers getting a chance to play some postseason football here. Snapped, was fumbled there by Needham and picked up by the running back, it looked like. A lot of ball security problems so far this game for the Bison. 4 turnovers. The ball's touched the ground many more times than that. Certainly why they found themselves in a 4-possession deficit. They've given it away 4 times. They trail by 28. Tigers have scored on 3 of the 4 turnover drives. They've got 21 points off the turnover so far, and the Tigers' first 14 of the game came off of the turnover. 3rd down and 5 now here for the Bison. They've still got Blake in the game. He'll get the handoff here, and he's got enough for the 1st down, bursting into the Tigers' secondary out across the 45 to the 46-yard line, enough to move the chains. Clock now under 3 minutes, 2.5 to go, 2:35 remaining.
And Shawnee Mission North
13 yards
continuously proving that they have competent ball carriers in the backfield. Just so many mistakes and miscues mentally has really just hurt this team. They've got some great athletes in that backfield, but just getting into the secondary has been an issue so far today for them.
Other than the fumbles, they really did look good on those first 2 drives of the game. They were moving with efficiency, and then it was just the small mistakes, the fumbles, that really hurt them. They've only found the end zone 1 time tonight. It was the Blake touchdown. Under 2 minutes now to go. Quan Blake, the only Bison scorer so far tonight. Tigers have had 3 different scorers. John Price scored the first 2 touchdowns of the game. Dalkey then had the 2 following, and Grady Westfall gets his first as a Tiger. He scored the most recent touchdown. Tigers have 5 tonight, a 35-7 lead, and a 28-point lead with 1:48 to go. Timeout taken there. It appeared to be by Blue Valley on 2nd down and 3. 1:48 to go.
Kansas City Orthopedic Alliance and the line movement.
Now we're set again for play. 1:48, 2nd down and 3. Dreyer, the backfield. They do hand it off to Dreyer. He's got enough for the first down. Down to the Tiger 41-yard line, enough to move the chains. That stops the clock with 1:43 to go. First down and 10 again for the Bison. 1.5 minutes remaining on their season. Shawnee Mission North tried to come into Blue Valley and pull up a big upset, unable to, only 7 points. Tigers stormed out of the gate, took a 21-0 lead into the half. Now at 28 points as Blake gets a big run there into the secondary. Blake inside the 15 now. He does have the only Bison touchdown of the game. There's a big run late that stops the clock with 1:15, and the Bison maybe trying to score their final touchdown of the year.
Gain of 28 on the play. Brings that first down and 10. Bison to the Tigers' 13-yard line.
That'll move us under 60 seconds now remaining on the game. Blue Valley leads it by 28. Quan Blake remains in the backfield. Needham gives it to Blake up the middle. Blake will be stuffed at the line of scrimmage. A pickup of 1 there brings up 2nd and 9. Now 35 seconds remaining on the game. The Bison don't have to take another snap. Season coming to an end. Now down to the final 20 seconds of the year. Play clock at 22. They will continue to play. 2nd and 9. Handoff here to Quan Blake, looking for an end zone, and he gets in there. His 2nd touchdown of the game with 10 seconds left. Blake picks up number 2 on the game for the Bison. Certainly that one is not going to matter. It moves the score now to 35-13, and the point after can cut it to a 21-point deficit. Band-Aid on a bullet hole there in the final 10 seconds. Point after could make it a 21-point game. So it'll take 3 onside kicks and 3 successful Hail Marys in the final 10 seconds if the Bison want to tie this one up.
10 seconds left in the 4th quarter.
Blue Valley will move on to face Olathe West next week, the 2 seed in these playoffs, but Blue Valley will be getting Andre Davis back. They'll be getting healthier, and if they can pull off the win there, they will likely have Alex Swarens in that 3rd week of the postseason. So the Tigers get better as time goes on. When this team is healthy, they certainly play a lot better than the 4-4 regular season record that shows. 10 seconds remaining in this one. It's 35-14. The Tigers will receive this kickoff and then fall to a knee to win this one and advance. Anthony Lonergan back deep to return the final kick of the game here for the Tigers. Kick is away. This one will not go out of bounds. That's the first one of the half. Fielded and down to a knee with 8 seconds to go. And Trevor Brush can take a knee and send the Tigers to the second round of the postseason with a 35-14 victory here at home against Shawnee Mission North. The first time these two teams ever face off. It's a lopsided matchup. Tigers just outgunned Shawnee Mission North tonight. Blue Valley wins their second consecutive matches, their biggest winning streak of the season. If they can pull off the upset next week and beat Olathe West, be the biggest winning streak of the year for Blue Valley.
Certainly going to be huge to have Andre Davis back. Kind of a double-headed monster is this offense with John Price and Andre Davis, and especially, like you said, in the third week, possibly getting Alex Warrens back would be a great addition for this Tigers team as well.
So with that knee, the Tigers will win it. I thank you for joining us tonight. Blue Valley wins by a final score of 35-14. They'll move on to face Olathe West next week. It's been a great game of football. Blue Valley moves to 5-4 on the season.